Microsoft Blues, your source for all things Everton. And James Hamilton here today to do the player ratings from our 1-1 draw away at Man City on Boxing Day. This is obviously fixture Everton have struggled in for a long time. I think I sort of tweeted about it saying it's been more than 14 years since Everton won at the Etihad. They had a couple of back-to-back wins, I think they were, or wins in quick succession. And since then, since City have established themselves as the best team in England, we've been nowhere near it really. I think we've come close once or twice, but that's about it. And obviously we had a couple of nice draws there under Lampard. I think that was Boxing Day, or in between Boxing Day and New Year rather, actually I think it was. We had the Stecklenburg game, which obviously today's match had a bit of a flavour of that to it. And we got a draw again today, and Everton were good value for it as far as I'm concerned. They deserved a draw, and I think City had 24 shots but 5 on target, which it just kind of shows really they were limited to long range efforts. I think Everton had 8 shots, 3 on target, so the case that Everton gave, not as good as they got obviously, but I think in terms of quality of chance and working to kind of hit City on the counter and make things happen when they were getting a bit frustrated, I think they did well there, and Everton got the draw. It's a good result, and look, if Everton had better attacking players, I think they would have won this game, and that's where City have really struggled. You saw them give a 3-goal lead away at Feyenoord. They got good attacking players. Villa last week, they got brilliant attacking players. That's the difficulty, but I also felt like going into the game, while City have been in bad form, you saw the other week they tore apart Nottingham Forest, who were a team a lot of Everton fans are comparing us to, in terms of saying, well, look how good Forest are doing this year, when we finished above them last season, got a lot more points to them and stuff. But that's the way it goes in football sometimes. The Forest, that's a different story. Obviously we'll talk about them in the week, because we played them on the weekend of course, but in terms of City, they can just turn it on, and it didn't really matter to me how bad their form was or who's beaten them, who hasn't. It was City, they can do it when they need to, and they've still got an absolute army of players who get in our team, and they had a lot of players out, but still bring on De Bruyne off the bench, for example, and Ilkay Gundogan came on as well. They're still good players. They're not having a great season, but this is a good point for us. So going for the team, John Pickford giving him a 9. Obviously he wins the game for us basically, obviously with his penalty save. Absolutely terrific. His tongue out in his face as he's pulling at him. I tweeted about it after the game. I don't think any goalkeeper's been better than him in the Premier League. You go for the usual suspects, and Alisson's been injured, Ederson's been injured, Kelleher's decent, but I don't think he's as good as a lot of people suggest he is. Sal's having a good season for Forest, and Martinez makes brilliant saves, lets a couple of goals, and maybe he doesn't normally. I think he's been good again this season, but I just look at Jordan Pickford and I say he's saved Everton probably 7 or 8 points this season. Newcastle, West Ham, City here, brilliant at Arsenal as well. Good save against Chelsea last week. So I think ultimately Everton play on fine lines, fine margins, and that's the way it's going to go at the minute because of where we are and the situation we're in. But he makes that easier, and he gives us a chance to kind of collect points like this. And say a penalty against Erling Haaland is no mean feat. It's not a brilliant penalty, but I think his record's been quite good since he come to City. So really, really pleased for Jordan Pickford. And okay, it's not another clean sheet to go towards the Golden Glove, but I'm sure he'll still be up there come the end of the season, which is obviously important. Seamus Coleman getting him an 8. I thought he was really good today. For him to cut, he just does this, doesn't he? Does it sort of 2 or 3 times a season. He won't play for, sometimes it'll be 3 or 4 games, sometimes it'll be 9 or 10 games. I can't remember the last time he started for Everton. I'm not even sure if he started in the Premier League this season. I can't think, but he started at the end of last season against Sheffield United. I remember thinking he's looking 35, 36 years of age. I thought today was really good. I know the goal comes from down his side, Doku feeds Bernardo Silva. It's not the best goal from our perspective, bit lucky, bit fluky, but that's the way it goes sometimes. But no, I thought he's really good. Couple of nice dribbles, gets out some tight spaces, and it's him getting forward that causes the goal, in terms of giving us options. And I think Ashley Young's done really well in the team, and obviously I'm sure he would have played well again today if he wasn't suspended, but it's great to be able to give him a rest because he has been very good, but he's even older than Seamus Coleman, which is just bizarre. But made up for us to give him an 8. James Tarkowski thought he was good today, give him an 8.5. Just in terms of heading everything, getting the ball out of play, calm on the ball, calm and getting us up the pitch, and I felt, in terms of essential area. That's the City we're gonna do us really, but we, because we conceded 2 goals to Harden last season from open play. One was a bit of a scrap from a corner, but I thought they handled them really well today, and I think Tarkowski was right at the heart of that. Jared Bradford getting an 8.5 as well. Rash tackle on, I think it might have been Nunes or Savio towards the end, which he gets booked for, but other than that, I thought he was brilliant. Cleaned up a lot of mess made by the next player in the team, unfortunately, but another good game for him, another solid performance. Everton conceded, I think it's 5 goals since he's come back into the team, something along those lines, or 6 goals maybe, so it speaks for itself. Obviously, I've said before that a goalie not conceding loads of goals or keeping clean sheets, not just down to him, not just down to the centre-backs, down to the whole team and the structure of it, but Jared Bradford's obviously just brilliant, isn't he, and getting back towards his best. Mykolenko, I thought, unfortunately, was really poor. I've given him a 4. He gives away the penalty, could have got sent off. He gets booked, and then obviously gives a penalty away and gives no foul later on. Probably shouldn't have been, in my opinion, but if he had been, I wouldn't have had much of a leg to stand on in terms of complaining. And it's just, he's getting skinned constantly, and even his clearances, he's booting the ball into touch, he can just get it down the line, get us out of danger. Yeah, I think if there's one position this team needs as left back, and I've been on here 3 or 4 times, is that Mykolenko's not playing very well, and it's a shame because he's looked on a couple of occasions like he could really kick on for Everton, but he's had injuries, and then he came back, started last season after he was unfit to begin the campaign, comes back in and played really well for sort of 7 or 8 games. I've said this. I think Brighton and Palace, he scored in both those games, plays really well, going forward, coming back. And now it's like, I look at him and you just don't trust him in a defensive position, and he's letting Savio in on his left foot constantly, and I just really struggle with him, to be honest with you. So I think if Everton can get a left back in January, it's absolutely what they need, even just to give him competition as well, make it so that he knows he's not going to play every week, and I hope that kicks on again. But yeah, I think the fact we spent a lot of money on him and Patterson, sort of 35-40 million, is where you really don't want to get stung in the January window, and that's obviously what we hope doesn't happen next month. Aaron Mangala, giving him an 8. I thought he was really solid. A couple of shots as well, which caused issues. One could have deflected in, but he's just calmed the ball, isn't he? He's a nice. He complements Garner, who I think is decent on the ball but can be a bit cumbersome, and then he's obviously miles better than Decore on the ball. But he's just that kind of nice evolution of Decore. He's got better attributes in some areas than Mangala. And then obviously same with Garner Gay as well. I just feel like all 3 of them complement each other quite nicely, and I thought Mangala did well today, so I'm giving him an 8.5. Just getting excellent foot, did well, breaking up play. I was watching on a really small screen today. I was watching it was like Michael Scott's telly out the office. I was in a relative's house, and so it was a bit of a struggle to analyse the game, but I thought he did well. As they breaking up play and even getting forward towards the end, and again him sort of triggering the press, getting forward up with Calvert-Lewin at times. Interesting, tactical kind of nuance there, but I like Garner Gay. I think he's having a really good season again, so giving him an 8. Decore, I actually thought Decore had a difficult first half, and then I thought he played quite well in the second. He works hard, he gets Everton up the pitch. He obviously struggles on the ball, and I think in these games where he can't get right up against the striker, we're not having pinball in the box where he normally does stick a foot out, get his head in there, scores a goal. He's done that 4 or 5 times on the Dyche. Can't really do that in a game like this, but you're going to get from Decore. He will always work hard, huge energy, and he can do both parts of the game, and I like him. I think he's a good player, and he helps the system a lot. He's not played very well this season, not been his best year by any means, but I thought he had a decent game today. Gave him a 7.5. Jack Harris not on the right. Another player I think struggling a bit at the minute for form and confidence. No goals this season. He'd get an assist against Palace. I don't think it went down as an assist, but he did well when he came on against Palace. Other than that, it's been a real difficult season for him. Chelsea should score last week. Here, 4-on-2. I mean, we have to score that. I'm not saying that's all down to him because he ends up with the ball sort of edge of the area. He got a man in front of him. It's not like it's an open goal, but he should have worked it better and at least tested the goalkeeper at the bare minimum. Maybe someone spills out and someone taps it in or what have you. But yeah, not great today from Jack Harris, unfortunately. Again, right wing is another spot where we really need to work on things. Lindstrom's come on today, 62 games without a goal now for Jesper Lindstrom. Obviously, large majority of them not with Everton, but it just shows that people talking about Forest constantly, and as I mentioned it before, and I think, well, they've got Alanga, they've got Hudson-Odoi, they've got Gibbs-White, they've got Elliot Anderson, they've got really good attacking players who are feeding Chris Wood. Everton don't have great attacking players, bar the next lad in the team, obviously, but yeah, Harrison's struggling at the minute, and it's difficult. So giving him a 5. Worked hard, I'll say that for sure. Mykolenko worked hard. He didn't give up, and they kept trying to obviously battle for the cause and stuff. But that is the bare minimum that I think Evertonians want is playing, working hard, and I say Harrison gets in the team probably because he is disciplined, but we need more on the ball, without question. Even and Die, giving him an 8.5. I actually thought he had a difficult game on the whole, but defensively he works so hard for the team, and that's why I like him on the left. I like him on the left because he gets more space when he goes forward, but obviously he can't get as involved. And he's getting back so far. He's obviously not kind of like a proper outlet in these games. I think in games away from home against other teams, I think he will be more of an outlet, but he's basically playing wing back today, which he worked hard, did his task well, and the goal is just absolutely brilliant control, and then that kind of laces. It's not a toe bang, but that kind of just get your foot to the ball as quickly as possible, because it's not going to be bouncing around in the City box for too long. Clinical, flies in top corner, goalie doesn't even move, absolutely brilliant. Some nice bit of skill in the second half, getting to the pitch, feeds Calvert-Lewin for one where he gets a last-ditch tackle on. But I thought Ndiaye had a good game today, and I was really pleased from getting his goal because he's probably deserved that. Could have got one against Chelsea as well, so really good there. Dom, look, I do think it is difficult being a striker, and I think it's difficult being a striker in any team, but being in an Everton Sean Dyche team, it is difficult away from home in these games, and a couple of times he gets the ball, brings it down, gets a foul, brings someone to play, gets forward, runs with it. That's good. It's the other times when the ball bounces off him, or he doesn't make the first contact. He seems uninterested in making the second one, or whatever it might be. It's difficult for him. Obviously, it's another game where he's not had a chance at goal, which isn't his fault in some ways. But difficult game for Dom. And I think if Broja starts and he has performances like that, I think Calvert-Lewin comes on and makes a difference again. So I do think starting and playing 80 minutes is not kind of as influential as coming on and maybe coming up against a defence that's stretched a little bit. And you saw that with Broja, but Broja's touch and passing and laying off it seems so much better, which is a real shame because that was Calvert-Lewin's bread and butter. But yeah, another difficult game for him, so give him a 5.5. The lads that came on, Lindstrom, didn't do too much. Same with Nathan Patterson as well. But I will give Broja an 8. I thought he came on and he broke us away 3 or 4 times. He leads the counter for 4-on-2. Was Harrison the right ball? Probably, to be fair. It's just we just messed it up, didn't we? The decision making in the team is really poor. But there's another kind of thing that I'm saying about the manager is if we have better attacking players, we win more games like this. People are so quick to criticise him, and I have no doubt if a more attacking manager comes in, we would score more goals. And I think the attacking kind of transitions and the attacking, the word's escaping me, but just in terms of the attacking outlay and how the team plays going forward, it will be better under another manager, but we could see more goals, I reckon. So it's difficult, and I just think if we had more decisive attacking players, which I hope we can try and get in January, we can probably score more goals in these games. Like Chelsea, we could have won that game. This game today, we could have won. We should have beat Southampton better. Misses a header from 2 yards out. West Ham, we could have edged before. Obviously, they turned the screw the last sort of 10-15 minutes. Leicester, again, we were winning 1-0 and we were bossing and we should have got a second goal, but we didn't. It's one of them things, isn't it? So it's frustrating, and obviously points never quite get you away, but people were saying only 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, we're going to get no points in December, and here we are with 6 points. The toughest, well, maybe not the toughest game of the season, but Etihad away, Arsenal away, Chelsea home. They're probably 3 of the toughest 7 or 8 fixtures in the season, all taken out in a week. No losses, a couple of clean sheets, and loads of confidence, I think, for the team and the fans. So pleased with today's game. I thought Everton played well. Could and should have won it, but here we are. I can't complain too much, I don't think. Let's just hope we can keep this momentum going, edge a few games, get a couple of wins under our belt, get some new players in January, and just get well away from the bottom 3. So hope everyone had a lovely Christmas, enjoyed the game today. Let me know your thoughts down below. Nice one.